I just got off the wait list for Grubhub. So I'm gonna do a first full supper shift. I did take a couple of Grubhub orders yesterday just to kind of learn the platform before I did this video for you. But I just wanted to see if Grubhub is something that's gonna really work as another supplemental delivery app that I have for this. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to say thank you to all of our subscribers. We are so appreciative of you. We just crossed the 55 subscriber mark. And so if you have not yet subscribed, I'd ask if you just take a minute to click that button, subscribe. It helps grow the channel, get us out to more and more people. We try to offer a really fun, upbeat way of really approaching these gig apps and these food delivery apps and also other side hustles where we do some eBay and Amazon. We're gonna eventually get into some videos on all of that. So if you could just take a moment to do that. Also, if you are currently delivering on Grubhub, tell me what I need to know. I don't know anything about Grubhub beyond just it's a food delivery app, but are there tips and tricks that are helpful for when you deliver on Grubhub? Is it something that works really well in your market? Are there better times? I'm gonna tell you the couple of things that I experienced yesterday that I thought were good. One, I saw decent orders throughout the afternoon. 2 to 4 around here tends to be really dead. And so that's a really exciting thing to have more options that could send me good offers in the afternoon. The other thing is I had a double delivery last night. I had 3 deliveries yesterday. One was from, I believe, Jason's Deli. The other was a double from a Burger King and a sushi place. And both of them had really good tips on them. Like the Burger King order was not huge and it still had like a $10 plus tip. The sushi order had a $10 plus tip. We're gonna see what we can get tonight. 75 bucks, 40 miles would be like a perfect supper time on Grubhub. So can Grubhub keep up with DoorDash and UberEats? Stay tuned to the end to find out what we do for the day. I drove to one of the hotspots, so I'm gonna sit here and wait. While I wait, I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna go on the Grubhub app as if I were ordering food, and I am gonna research what restaurants it's recommending. One of the things I'm definitely interested in is finding restaurants that are not on Uber Eats and DoorDash that are on Grubhub. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Not even a bad order to reject. I've been sitting in the middle of this hotspot. It's red, I'm exactly where they said they are. For comparison, while I was sitting here in this hotspot for Grubhub, I turned on Uber Eats. Within 2 to 3 minutes, I had an Uber Eats order, even though I was nowhere near a recommended Uber Eats zone. Then a couple minutes later, I turned on DoorDash, nowhere near one of the recommended zones. Got an order within a couple of minutes. And so I've been sitting in this place for well over 10 minutes, 15 minutes, which if I were ever stuck somewhere for 15 minutes and got nothing with all 3 apps on, I would move. So I'm gonna move because that's what I would normally do. I headed back towards that big red area that I had seen on the map. And after I'd driven about 2 or 3 miles, poof, it just vanished off the map. After moving for a little while, we got this $23 for 11 mile on Grubhub from a nice higher end restaurant. It's pretty high mileage, but having done nothing, it's good. Consistently seeing higher tips on a lot of these orders, higher than what I feel like they would be on some of these other apps. So that's really good. I've also been trying to train the app. I don't know how much it matters, but when you decline an order, you can tell it why you're declining an order. And so I'm very consistent with not enough pay for the miles or heading the wrong direction. I'm trying to train it so it will work with me. As I was leaving the community for the last one, I got this $18 for 10 or 11 mile. It's bringing us back to our main zone, a direction that we like to go. And so I just arrived, and just as we got to the restaurant, they actually do stacked orders on Grubhub. I kind of figured they would, but I hadn't seen one. So I got an additional $7 for 1 mile. So this makes it another $25 order between the two for about 11 or 12 miles total. So we're sticking right around that $2 a mile. All right, we just picked up our 2 orders. It took a couple minutes waiting, but while I was in there, I found out some interesting information. Talked to the owner of the restaurant. He's a guy that I talk to regularly when I come in, have a good relationship with. He said the last 2 or 3 days, they've had their Grubhub orders that have come in canceled because no driver was able to be found to pick them up. That is huge. So that's super exciting. If there is a lack of people driving on Grubhub, one, maybe that's why I finally got off the wait list, because Grubhub's like, we need people to drive. And two, that just means that there's going to be more opportunities for me. Also why it's good to build good relationships with these stores that you're working with. They're going to give you insider info that you might not get otherwise. After dropping off those 2 pizza orders and getting to see a really cool Valentine's Day display on my route, we then got this $10 for 5 mile Applebee's order and just more interesting information. So it turns out that this Grubhub order has been sitting for 10 minutes because a driver came and they said it was going to be 2 or 3 more minutes and they bailed. Now look, I get it. I'm all about not waiting super long times at restaurants. If they tell you 2 to 3 minutes, at least give them the 2 to 3 before you bail. And so now this person had to wait an extra 10 minutes to get their food, to get a new driver assigned. I'm gonna not delay anymore and get her food as quick as possible. We dropped off that Applebee's order and immediately got hit with this Napoleon on the Bay pizza order. It's like $16 for 10 miles. I might not normally take that because it's going really far north, and if you've watched my videos, you know I don't like being super far north. But because the purpose of this video is to give Grubhub a good testing out, a good trial and make sure it's something that will work for me, I'm gonna take it. Before I show you how we ended up for the entire night, I wanna just give a couple of my initial reactions. One, Grubhub is way clunkier to use when you're starting. It was a lot of steps. A lot of their interface, I think, could just be simplified by combining screens on different things. Second thing, clearly I would not want to be running only Grubhub for large shifts normally. But truthfully, you wouldn't want to be doing that for DoorDash or UberEats or Instacart either. No matter what you're looking to do, you want to have multiple options. It took me almost a full year to get off the wait list for Grubhub, but I did. And I can already see how it will help over time my dollars per hour to go up. What if instead of averaging $26 or $27 an hour, you could go to 28 or 29 or 30? An extra $5 an hour could easily mean an extra hour or 2 that you have free, that because you can meet your goal earlier. As long as I can use Grubhub whenever I want, that looks like a great alternative for me to use instead of DoorDash in the afternoons from that 2 to 4 time frame. How would I rate it? As an interface, I would give it a D plus or a C minus. It's too clunky. It takes too much time. As earning potential in my market, after a little test yesterday and a full supper time today, I give it a B plus to an A minus. Now, your market could be different, but get on the wait list. No one's ever going to force you to use these apps, so you might as well at least have the option and give it a try. I want to say a special thank you to all of my subscribers, all of you who have been commenting and posting and sharing and liking. It's such a big deal, especially for a small channel like mine, and I appreciate it. And please know, even if I don't know you all and have not met you all, I do appreciate the time that you've given to this. Hopefully this will be something that will help educate you. This channel, we want to help everybody grow, everyone do better. Thank you so much. If you haven't yet, would you please subscribe?